Naomi Proulx here at BTC 25 with Clay Pie. Clay, first of all, we have to talk about the pizza fiasco going into this one. For fans who might not know, you and Caesar are familiar with each other. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I was two-time Thick Boy Fight Club pizza eating champ. I was dethroned by Caesar. I got cocky, and then I got cocky. He beat me by a crust. The second one was a fluke. They called in some guy who cheated, had one slice in his box. So we're like, you know what? Let's settle this with our fists. And as you can see, I didn't hold back this time. So.
And going into this fight, Caesar did miss weight. When you were finding out that you had to fight at catch weight, what were your thoughts and mentality going into that?
So I mean, like I said before, I would have fought him at any weight. I've been looking for this matchup for a while, and I knew that I could take him. And so when it happened, honestly, like in the back of my head, I'm like, something's gonna go wrong. Like maybe he's gonna miss 175, whatever. And then he didn't just miss 175; he missed the new weight, which was 180. And I was like, whatever, man. Like you're gonna get knocked out. So I might as well let you have a little bit of an advantage. So.
It's your first fight in almost a year. You were obviously looking for it and didn't care. You weren't letting the weight stop you. You're undefeated, but this was your first ever finish in your career. Taking time off like that and then getting back into the cage and seeing the results in the round one, what were you feeling?
I was ecstatic. I mean, I would have liked to have really put him out on the feet, but beggars can't be choosers, and a finish is a finish. I got that TKO, and that's more than I could ask for. So,
coming into this one undefeated, did you feel pressure to maintain that streak?
There's always pressure to win. If I was undefeated, if I was 2-0, or 0-2, I always have the pressure to win, right? Like I don't want to let my team down. I don't want to let myself down. Niagara top team, we hold ourselves to a high standard, and we got to rack up those wins, right? So the being undefeated doesn't matter to me. I wrestled for years and years and years, and I've lost tons of times as a wrestler. Losing doesn't scare me, but I'm always trying to win.
And speaking about NTT, you guys went 4 for 4 tonight. You guys are such a strong team with big names. What's it like training with a team like that, and also coming into a card and having all 4 fighters win?
Yeah, so Niagara top team we're the best team in Canada. Come on, Audrey, what the fuck are you doing, bro? We got the best team. Sorry, I'm flustered after that fucking guy. That guy tore my adductor, actually. But yeah, no, Niagara top team, great atmosphere. There's never any drama at our club. We strive for professionalism, and I think that came out tonight. Every single one of our fighters got a finish. So, God damn it.
2 for 2. And you said you've been looking to face Caesar for a while now. Did anything surprise you when you actually got to?
He hit me with a good little leg kick right off the bat, and he said he was working on that. So I was excited that happened. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. People are waving. So I was surprised that happened. But he did it once, and then I guess his explanation was, he never checks that leg kick. So I should hit him with that leg kick. He hit me with it once, and then I checked it, right? Like you make adjustments on the fly. Like he got me with one good one, and then I just adjusted it in the fight. So.
And was there any changes to your training camp that led to this finish, do you think, compared to going to the judges?
So this training camp was actually the worst possible training camp I've ever had. I barely trained. I tore my adductor, so my groin muscle, right at the start of my camp. So I barely wrestled. I was not trying to wrestle at all this fight. I said it 100 times, and people still didn't believe me. They're like, he's going to shoot the legs, blah, blah, blah. He's going to grapple him. He can out-grapple him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm going to stand with him. You can I'm not trying to bluff or do anything like that. I'm going to stand with him. So with the groin tear, I was still able to kind of stand on my balance here, and I was still able to kind of work my hands. So I worked my hands, and it paid off there. I was able to miss a lot of those big looping shots. I was preparing for those, and preparing for him to try to go for the grappling himself, because I know that's where he'd be most comfortable. With exception of that one leg kick he got. So
Well, lastly, the floor is yours. If there's anything you want to leave off on or anyone you want to thank.
Yeah, just thanking all my sponsors again. JC Patissier, the Octagon, the District, Aura, Beauty and Aesthetics, I think is what they're called. They whiten my teeth. They do detox shit with me. They're great. They'll wax your nether regions too if you want. I'm not into that, but yeah, they're great. And then next Niagara Health, they were a big help with repairing my torn groin. So big shout out to those guys. And then of course I mentioned like the loved ones that we've lost this year, starting with Ashley back in February. That was another thing about this fight is I promised myself I was going to work my striking for this fight. So I did that. And then even more recently, we lost a big member of the wrestling community, Michelle Fazzari, and another big member of the wrestling community, Keko Gata, and he was big and donated tons of money to the Brock wrestling team out in St. Catharines, where I got my start with wrestling. So yeah, just big shout outs to all those people and all those people.
Well, congratulations, Clay Pie. I'm Naomi Proulx for BTC 25.